If there is one mythical creature that captures people's imagination, it's an honest politician. No, it's Sasquatch. Bigfoot. The idea that there is a huge bipedal ape-like creature that roams the forests of North America, but that it's so elusive, we just don't know about it. They hide themselves within deep forests, but on occasion have been spotted by passers-by. Indigenous American communities have talked about these creatures for hundreds of years. And here is what they're supposed to look like according to Wikipedia. Come on, it's a video about Bigfoot, I'm using Wikipedia. They're covered in black, dark brown or dark reddish hair, a height of roughly 6 to 15 feet. The face is supposed to more resemble a human than ape, with broad shoulders, no visible neck, long arms. Some alleged nighttime sightings have stated the creature's eyes glowed yellow or red. Sweet dreams. Michael Rugg, the owner of the Bigfoot Discovery Museum, don't tell me you've not been yet, claims to have smelled Bigfoot, stating, "Imagine a skunk that had rolled around in dead animals and had hung around the garbage pits. I'd rather not, thanks." In amongst the mass of hoax Bigfoot videos, and trust me, there's a lot, there are a small handful that are seen as authentic, and one of them in particular. In this video, I will show you that footage.
The James Linker experience.
This is the video that people say proves that Bigfoot is real. It is the most famous alleged footage of the beast, known as the Patterson Gimlin footage. It was taken in 1967 in California, where frame 352 reveals something incredible. Taken on a shaky 16mm camera and lasting only 1 minute, it has redefined the belief that Bigfoot is real. I've added the spooky music to give you high blood pressure, but this is the original footage. The people who took the footage were Roger Patterson and Bob Gimlin. Here is the story. In October 1967, Bob Gimlin bumped into an old friend, Roger Patterson. Patterson was a Bigfoot hunter and amateur filmmaker making a pseudo-documentary about cowboys looking for Sasquatch. Patterson told Gimlin about his interest and that there were reports of Sasquatch footprints in Northern California. The two men agreed to go and find the footprints and uncover the creature that has caused them. In the early afternoon of Friday, October 20th, 1967, Patterson and Gimlin were riding northeast on horseback along the east bank of Bluff Creek. Between 1:15 and 1:40 p.m, they came to an overturned tree with a large root system at a turn in the creek. When they rounded it, they saw a log jam, a crow's nest left over from the floods of 1964. They then started to smell skunk in the air and their horses started to whinny. And it was then that they spotted a 7-foot creature around 25 meters in front of them. Gimlin later describes himself as in a mild state of shock after first seeing the figure. "Bob, cover me," shouted Patterson as he dismounted off his horse and got to a vantage point to start recording. Bob stood behind him with his rifle drawn. The Bigfoot walked across shot, looked back at them, and continued walking. The experience lasted 59 seconds. It was 59 seconds that would ruin Bob Gimlin's life. The two men rushed back to their base, got some plaster, and made plaster casts of the footprints left behind by the creature. Patterson quickly had the film developed. He was sure that he had uncovered proof of Bigfoot's existence, but only a few scientists were willing to even look at it. Of those who were quoted studying this footage, most expressed reservations, although some scientists did admit that they were intrigued by the footage. This footage has been analysed for decades, and one side of the argument is it's a hoax. Patterson is seen as the culprit, with Bob Gimlin an innocent bystander. People claim that Patterson staged the footage because he wasn't being financially successful in his documentary making, and he made good money from this footage. Even the BBC bought rights to it. For decades and decades, the mystery of this footage has been debated, when in 2002, a man called Philip Morris claimed he was the person to sell the ape suit to Patterson. But if it was a man in an ape suit, then who was it? Meet Bob Hieronymus, who claims that he was the Bigfoot. And here is Bob Hieronymus recreating the walk that he says he did as Bigfoot, which does look similar to the alleged creature in the footage.
Bob Hieronymus, who says he was Bigfoot, when you see him walk, he's this big old gangly cowboy looking dude. When you see him walk, he walks exactly like that Bigfoot.
You think it was him?
100%.
Huh.
Yeah.
But again, critics of Hieronymus will say the ape suit that he shows looks nothing like the one in the footage. Detractors will say, why did Hieronymus wait 30 years to come forward? Gimlin and Patterson's stories also have problems with them. Patterson said he filmed the creature at 1 p.m, rode back to his car to get plaster to cast the footprints, then rode to his car again and drove to Eureka to mail the footage, all by 6 p.m. But skeptics say that would have been impossible to do within 5 hours, based on the distances and the work involved. There are all sorts of other debunking statements made towards this footage over many decades. It really is a minefield to go through, but they do question the character of Patterson, they do question the timeline of events, and just, well, that it's a man in an ape suit. Here is a close-up still of the creature. Have a look. Does it look real to you? To this day, many people claim, and a lot of people, that this is genuine footage of Bigfoot. Here is the video in 60 frames per second, which makes it far smoother. Every type of professional you can think of has studied the footage, from special effects artists to costume designers to primatologists. And importantly, the footage has never really fully been debunked. People, when watching it, just feel that it's real. It doesn't seem staged to them. Indeed, Idaho Professor of Anatomy and Anthropology Dr. Meldrum is in no doubt that the footage is real. He compared the texture of the fur and muscle definition with movie costumes. He and his students could clearly make out the anatomy of the creature, from the trapezius, deltoid, erector spinae, and shoulder blades moving under the skin. Even the quads contract when the creature walks. This would not happen if this was a thick and heavy ape suit. Furthermore, Patterson passed a polygraph test in 1968, and indeed, until his death in 1972, he always maintained that the footage was real. Bob Gimlin never sought fame and was fairly reclusive. He attended the occasional Bigfoot conference in the early 2000s, but he said that the footage ruined his life. It was toxic fame, as he described it, that destroyed his family life. Importantly, he sold his share in the footage for just $10. It is a piece of footage that still to this day carries weight. The Patterson Gimlin footage is notorious.
Regardless of your feelings as to whether it was a hoax or not, it's still a compelling piece of footage, and attempts to recreate it have been lackluster at best.
Whether or not it is a hoax, the idea of Bigfoot still lives on. What do you think? Is this, like so many people believe, authentic footage of Bigfoot, or just a man in a monkey suit? I'm James Linker. I'll see you soon.